Hello, welcome, sharp 7 o'clock. Welcome to this webinar. I really appreciate you all being here. Tell me, I would like to know you all. So in the chat box, would you type in the city that you're from so that we can connect a little bit? Please type in the chat where you're from. Kovilpati, Agra, Nagpur, great, Delhi, Chennai, Varanasi, Aurangabad, Hyderabad. Deepak, I am from Hyderabad myself, actually, someone from Kashmir, and Patna, great, wonderful. It is good to see you all, and I am going to respectfully stop the chat. You can still send the messages to me, but others cannot see it. So thank you all for sharing where you are from. And let me just start off by saying that I acknowledge each and every one of you for being here in this webinar. You could have chosen to be doing any number of things in your life, but you have chosen to be here at this hour. And that tells me quite a bit about you. It tells me that you are interested in investing your time in learning something new so that you can take your life to the next level. And I want to make sure that the time that you spend here with me is time well spent. So I acknowledge you for that. I thank you for being in the webinar. That said, let us look at, we are going to learn three things today. Let us look at the three things that we are going to learn today. The first thing is how our breath affects our physical, emotional, and spiritual health. And it is the hidden source of all of our by the way, can you hear me? If you can still hear me, can you just type yes in the chat, please? There was some audio disturbance. Great, great. Thank you. Thank you for responding. Thank you for responding. So we are going to learn how our breath affects our physical, emotional, and spiritual health, and how it is truly the hidden source of our energy. And we are going to learn two hands-on practices today. So at the end of this webinar, you will walk away with two practical hands-on skills. The first one is how you can use your breath to drive away stress and anxiety in the midst of your day if you're going through those situations. That is the first hands-on practice. And the second hands-on practice is to replace a unhealthy breath pattern, and we will look into that in just a few minutes. If you have an unhealthy breath pattern currently, how to replace it with a healthy breath pattern so that it gives immediate tangible benefits to your body, to your mind, and to your soul. So these are the three things that we are going to learn in the webinar today. And so before we go into the specifics of the breath practices, let me share a little bit about myself and my motivation for doing seminars such as this. Now, I do not know every one of you here in this webinar personally, but I am taking a guess that many of you in this webinar are facing everyday challenges. These challenges can be on the professional front, on your job, where you are aspiring to climb up the ladder, and you're facing many challenges, dealing with the pressures of work, dealing with overseas clients, being on the call with your boss even during the off hours, the commute, expectations from your job performance, and all of that. It is a very stressful life. And I am also guessing that some of you may be facing some issues, financial challenges, or challenges in your personal life, such as challenges in your relationship with others, maybe with family, or more importantly, relationship with your own inner self, where you feel disconnected. All of us in this day and age, we face all of these challenges. And unfortunately, the challenges manifest themselves as imbalances or ill health in the physical body, in the emotional body or the mind, and in the soul at a deeper level. These challenges may manifest as blood pressure or diabetes or heart conditions or improper sleep or having a fatigue. All of these problems are such commonplace problems that we hardly bat an eyelid whenever we hear that someone has such kind of problems in the physical body. The challenges that we face on an everyday basis may also manifest in the mind as stress or anxiety or depression, mood swings, anger, any number of these emotional imbalances, or we may feel totally disconnected with our inner soul. Now, if you are facing any of these challenges in the profession, in the physical body, in the emotional body, in the mind, stress or anxiety, or feeling disconnected with yourself, tell me a little bit more about yourself. Type yes in the chat if you're facing any of these issues. Type yes in the chat. I would like to know you better. Yes, yes, yes. Many people are typing in a yes, and I really appreciate you for acknowledging, yes, feeling disconnected with the self. Yes, I totally understand all of these challenges. And the reason I understand all of these challenges are because I have faced these challenges myself in my life. And perhaps I may have faced them at a very intense level more than most people face. So let me share a little bit about myself. I used to work as a software engineer. Yes, I was a software engineer. I worked in that field for 18 years. I was working in Silicon Valley in California. Between 87 and 2005, and I worked in several high-tech companies. One of my job positions was back in 1996. I was working at Sun Microsystems, where I was a member of the original team that created and developed the Java programming language. So I worked in several high-tech companies. And like many of you who are aspiring to come up in your profession, I was also working hard. So I know the challenges in the profession. But my life, I have taken a different path than the normal. At the peak of my career, I left my career completely and became a full-time student of spirituality. I came back to India in 2005 and have been spending the last 16 years being a full-time student of spirituality. But my path has not been without challenges. I faced many problems. I faced stress and anxiety while working in the job, and even while walking on the spiritual path. Depression was a huge debilitating role in my life, where I used to fall down constantly, and it created havoc in my life. And I have, as a result of that, I have faced many health issues that were manifesting in my body: improper sleep, and facing with fatigue and body pains. I have faced it all. I really hit rock bottom many times in my life, and I know what it feels to really fall down. But fortunately, when I was falling rock bottom, I was really hitting rock bottom in many areas in my life, professionally, spiritually, emotionally, physically. There are so many aspects in our life. But fortunately, I learned some inner transformational practices from accomplished yogis and masters. And that made a huge difference in my life. What do I mean by inner transformational practices? Practices such as conscious breathing, about which we are going to talk in this webinar, that made a huge difference. Practices like meditation, conscious relaxation, mindfulness, all of these inner transformational practices made a huge difference in my life. I know how much I have healed in my body, in my mind, in my soul, because when people looked at me from an outside, it looked like I was having a successful life, I was having a normal life, but inside my worlds were really crumbling and they were crashing down. And that may be the case with many people as well, where from an external perspective, things appear to be normal. Chalta hai, he's doing good, professionally successful, but inside there may be a lot of turbulence inside of us, which does not show on the outside. And I have been always interested in inner transformational tools, things, practices that changes from the inside out. And my passion to do webinars and programs such as this comes from the fact that I have stumbled on my path very badly, and I have seen my friends stumble on the treadmill of their life, and they did not take enough care about their inner self, and that really crashed them to burnout. And I want to really bring forth these practices and tools that can really help everyone in their day-to-day life, so that they are at a much higher level of consciousness, they are at a much higher level of efficiency, and they feel that one-pointed focus and centeredness about them. So that is where my passion is coming from, and I'm so happy that you are all in this webinar today, in which I can share some real practical practices and tools that you can walk away with. The most important practice that I have learned is conscious breathing. It makes such a huge difference in one's life. But before I go into what it is, I want each and every one of you right now to do a snap check. Just follow my instructions for the next 60 seconds, and you will have a better understanding about where you stand. So let us actually go on this 60-second exercise. I want you all to bring your awareness to your breath, but without changing how you are breathing. Don't change how your breath is, but simply observe your breath. Is your breath shallow? What do I mean by shallow breath? If the movement of air as you inhale and exhale, if it is in the neck area or shoulder area or in the upper chest area only, that is a shallow breath. So notice if your breath is shallow, or perhaps your breath is deep. By deep breath, I mean Is your belly expanding as you inhale? And is it contracting as you exhale? Just observe your breath without changing how you're currently breathing. Okay, great. Now that you have made your observation about your breath, you will very likely fall into one of three categories. The first category is where your breath is shallow and relatively fast. The second category is if you have a deeper belly breath with your belly expanding on inhalation and contracting on exhalation. Or you may fall in the third category where you were not able to observe your breath. I'm interested in finding out which category your breath belongs to. So let me launch a poll. The poll is right in front of you. If your breath is shallow, click on the first option. If your breath is deep in the belly with the belly expanding on inhalation and contracting on exhalation, click on the second option. If you could not focus on your breath, click on the third option. Shallow breath, deep breath, or could not focus. Okay, the results are coming in fast. Let me just wait for 5 more seconds for the results to come in. Thank you all. Thank you all for sharing. I am ending the poll and let me share the results with you all. So here are the results. A good 40% of you have a shallow breath. About 47% of you have a deeper belly breath, and about 13% have could not observe your breath, which is fine. So let us understand what shallow breath means, what deep breath means. Now, we are sitting here in this webinar. We are relatively relaxed. The breath is relatively relaxed. As we were entering into the webinar, there was some relaxing music going on. And therefore, I'm not surprised that about 45% of people here have a deeper belly breath, which indicates a more relaxed state. But we have seen that about 40% of people have a shallow breath. In fact, when scientists have done a study randomly with people, they have found that about 80% of the people have a shallow breath, and only about 20% of the people have a deeper belly breath. Now, this shallow breath is both inefficient because it consumes a lot of energy even while breathing, and it brings in the least amount of air into the lungs. Unfortunately, a majority of people have this shallow breath, and that manifests itself in building the stress in the body, in each and every cell and muscle of the body. It builds a muscular tension in the body, and also tension in the mind in the form of stress and anxiety. A minority of the people have a deeper belly breath. So if you already have a deeper belly breath as a constant unconscious breathing pattern, I congratulate you. Now, let us understand what a deeper belly breath is. To understand it deeper, let us go all the way back when we were infants, or those of you who may have little children, you may have noticed how a baby breathes. How does a baby breathe? Actually, let us look at how a baby breathes. As the baby is inhaling, the abdomen is expanding. As the baby is exhaling, the abdomen is contracting. I do not know if you were able to see that, but oops, sorry. I went to the, okay. So as you can see from the video here, as the baby is breathing, the belly is expanding, and as it is exhaling, the belly is contracting. Now, this is called a belly breath. It is more efficient. By the way, someone said that my voice is not audible. Is it audible? If it is audible, can you just type A in the chat so that I know? Okay, great. Thank you. Thank you for that feedback, Sai Kumar. Great. Thank you. So this belly breath is a natural and healthy way of breathing. It is the way that nature has intended for us to breathe. But unfortunately, only a minority of people have this belly breath. And we are going to go into a practice that allows us to replace the shallow breath with a healthier belly breath. And that practice is going to come in a few minutes. And like I said, we are also going to go into a practice which allows us to really drive away stress and anxiety during the course of the day. We face with so many stressful situations, and a very simple breath practice immediately brings your focus back. So we will go into those two practices in just a second. Now, let us actually understand, even before we go into a deeper belly breath practice, or the practice to drive away stress and anxiety, let us understand very briefly why breath has such a deep impact on our state of being. See, there is a direct relationship between our breath, between our state of mind and breath. You may have noticed that when a person is agitated or anxious or stressed out or angry, the breath is very fast, it is very shallow, it is very irregular. Whereas if a person is more relaxed in the mind, the breath is deeper, it is slower, it is more harmonious. So there is a direct relationship between the state of one's mind and the breath. But do you know that by consciously controlling our breath, over which we have control, we can actually control our mind, we can control our emotions, we can control our thoughts. Now, that is a huge advantage that Mother Nature has given us, because you all know how difficult it is to control the mind and to control our emotions. We just get caught up in everyday situations, and we flow with the emotions very impulsively and reactively. But using our breath consciously, we can actually change how we feel. And that is exactly what we are going to learn in this practice. So, are you all ready to learn this practice that is going to help you on an everyday basis? Type yes in the chat if you are looking forward to learning this practice. Great, great. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you all. Great. And I am also looking forward to sharing this very useful practice with you all. This practice is called extended exhalation. Give me a second. In this what we do, we consciously take inhalations and exhalations, but we lengthen the duration of the exhalation so that the exhalation is longer than the inhalation. And after some time, we lengthen the inhalation and we also lengthen the exhalation, but we keep lengthening the exhalation a little bit longer than the inhalation. So in our practice right now, we'll begin the practice in a minute or two. But the way that we are going to do that practice is we inhale for a duration of 4 seconds, exhale for 5 seconds. We practice a few rounds of that. And then we extend the inhalation to 5 seconds and extend the exhalation to 6 seconds. Then retain the inhalation at 5 seconds and extend the exhalation to 7 seconds. Still keeping the inhalation at 5 seconds, extend the inhalation to 8 seconds. So we will do a few rounds each of these while building it incrementally. Now, a couple of precautions when you're doing the practice. First off, it is very important that you breathe through the nose and not through the mouth, because that really helps. A few people breathe through the nose, and that is not a healthy practice. The second point I want to make is, as you are inhaling, be conscious that you are first filling the belly with the belly expanding, and in the same inhalation, fill the chest. So it is like taking a breath in, filling the belly, filling the chest. And you do one long, smooth exhalation. Now, if you run out of breath as we are doing the practice, if you cannot inhale for 5 seconds or exhale for 7 or 8 seconds, just continue on with the next inhalation or exhalation. Don't overstretch yourself. And I will be keeping count of the number of seconds. So I will be prompting you. I will say inhale, and I will keep a count of up to 4 seconds or 5 seconds, whatever may be the case. And the way that I will keep count is I will keep counting Om 1, Om 2, Om 3, Om 4, and I'll say exhale, and I'll start the count. So this practice in itself is going to really help drive away stress and anxiety, and helps you become much more centered and focused. Now, as you do this practice, make sure that your mind is not wandering somewhere. It is not thinking about something, but let your mind, let your awareness be completely on your breath, on each inhalation and on each exhalation. And that will really help. And this practice takes only 3 minutes or 4 minutes. And at the end of that practice, you yourself will notice that there is a significant difference. So if you are all ready, follow my instructions for the next 3 minutes. I want you all to sit comfortably wherever you're sitting, but make sure that your back is straight. Also, make sure that your body is relaxed. Let there not be any tension in the body, in the mind. Let there not be any tension. And I want you to close your eyes. Close your eyes and bring your awareness to your breath. Bring your awareness to your breath. As you bring your awareness to your breath, just focus on each inhalation and exhalation. Let your mind not wander anywhere, and just follow the inhalation and exhalation instructions that I will give. Let us all start with the exhalation. Exhale completely. And inhale, Om 1, Om 2, Om 3, Om 4. Exhale, Om 1, Om 2, Om 3, Om 4, Om 5. Inhale, Om 1, Om 2, Om 3, Om 4. Exhale, Om 1, Om 2, Om 3, Om 4, Om 5. Inhale, Om 1, Om 2, Om 3, Om 4. Exhale, Om 1, Om 2, Om 3, Om 4, Om 5. Inhale, Om 1, Om 2, Om 3, Om 4. Exhale, Om 1, Om 2, Om 3, Om 4, Om 5. Inhale, Om 1, Om 2, Om 3, Om 4. Exhale, Om 1, Om 2, Om 3, Om 4, Om 5. Inhale, Om 1, Om 2, Om 3, Om 4. Exhale, Om 1, Om 2, Om 3, Om 4, Om 5. Inhale for 5, Om 2, Om 3, Om 4, Om 5. Exhale, Om 1, Om 2, Om 3, Om 4, Om 5, Om 6. Inhale, Om 1, Om 2, Om 3, Om 4, Om 5. Exhale, Om 1, Om 2, Om 3, Om 4, Om 5, Om 6. Inhale, Om 1, Om 2, Om 3, Om 4, Om 5. Exhale, Om 1, Om 2, Om 3, Om 4, Om 5, Om 6. Inhale, Om 1, Om 2, Om 3, Om 4, Om 5. Exhale, Om 1, Om 2, Om 3, Om 4, Om 5, Om 6. Inhale, Om 1, Om 2, Om 3, Om 4, Om 5. Exhale, Om 1, Om 2, Om 3, Om 4, Om 5, Om 6. Inhale, Om 1, Om 2, Om 3, Om 4, Om 5. Exhale, Om 1, Om 2, Om 3, Om 4, Om 5, Om 6, Om 7. Inhale, Om 1, Om 2, Om 3, Om 4, Om 5. Exhale, Om 1, Om 2, Om 3, Om 4, Om 5, Om 6, Om 7. Inhale, Om 1, Om 2, Om 3, Om 4, Om 5. Exhale, Om 1, Om 2, Om 3, Om 4, Om 5, Om 6, Om 7. Inhale, Om 1, Om 2, Om 3, Om 4, Om 5. Exhale, Om 1, Om 2, Om 3, Om 4, Om 5, Om 6, Om 7. Inhale, Om 1, Om 2, Om 3, Om 4, Om 5. Exhale, Om 1, Om 2, Om 3, Om 4, Om 5, Om 6, Om 7. Inhale, Om 1, Om 2, Om 3, Om 4, Om 5. Exhale, Om 1, Om 2, Om 3, Om 4, Om 5, Om 6, Om 7, Om 8. Inhale, Om 1, Om 2, Om 3, Om 4, Om 5. Exhale, Om 1, Om 2, Om 3, Om 4, Om 5, Om 6, Om 7, Om 8. Inhale, Om 1, Om 2, Om 3, Om 4, Om 5. Exhale, Om 1, Om 2, Om 3, Om 4, Om 5, Om 6, Om 7, Om 8. Last round. Inhale, Om 1, Om 2, Om 3, Om 4, Om 5. Exhale, Om 1, Om 2, Om 3, Om 4, Om 5, Om 6, Om 7, Om 8. Now, still keep your eyes closed and just be centered for a moment, just focusing on your breath. All right. Whenever you're ready, open your eyes. Open your eyes gently. How was your experience? I would like to know how your experience was there for this extended exhalation practice. So let me launch a poll, and each of our interactions is helping me know you a little bit better. So let me launch a poll and you share with me what your experience is. So here is the poll. If you're feeling calmer and more relaxed after this practice, click on the first option, click on the second option if it made no difference, or click on the third option if you couldn't do the practice. Click on A, B, or C. I will wait for 5 more seconds. Let the inputs. Thank you. Thank you all for sharing. Thank you all for sharing. Great. Let me end the poll and share the results. I am pleasantly surprised that close to 80% of the people here feel much more calmer and relaxed after doing this practice. And for a few people, it did not make much difference, and that is perfectly fine. And then there are a few of us who could not do the practice, which is also just fine. But the takeaway is that about 80% of you felt immediately calmer and more focused after this practice. And this is a practice that only takes 3 or 4 minutes at the most. And if you find yourself in a stressful state or anxiety or dealing with many pressures, just take 3 minutes away, center yourself, do this extended exhalation practice, and it is going to give you immense benefits in your body, in your mind. You will immediately calm down. You will be able to deal with whatever situation that is going on around you or inside your own mind. You will be in a much better state because you are harnessing that power of breath. So, talking about the power of breath, let us understand what is this power of breath? What is this conscious breathing? See, we are all familiar with this ultra efficient machine car, the Tesla car. We are all familiar with that. It runs on electricity. It is very, very efficient. But tell me, if the electricity voltage that is used to charge the Tesla is not at its full voltage, can you charge the Tesla? And can you really run it efficiently? Can you say no in the chat if you agree that you cannot charge the Tesla fully and you cannot run it? So type no in the chat. Great. I see a number of no's coming in. So you all agree with me that the Tesla would not run if the voltage is not proper. Now, the Tesla is a very efficient machine. It is an amazing creation. It is a well-engineered machine, and not every one of us has access to a Tesla. But each and every one of us has access to an even more wonderful creation, a more efficiently engineered creation in the whole universe. I want you to take a guess what That might be that we all have access to the most wonderful, most efficient, most well-engineered creation. What might be that we, each and every one of us, has access to? Some of us are saying our body, some of you are saying your mind, and yes, you are right. It is not just our body, it is a combination of our body, of our mind, and our soul. And each one of us has access to this amazing creation. Now, if we have a Tesla, we would expect it to run trouble-free, right? We would be pretty upset if it needs a electric recharge every 5 miles, or if the engine keeps breaking down very frequently. But what about our body? What about our mind? What about our soul, which are even more efficiently designed? Hasn't nature designed our body to run trouble-free? Hasn't nature designed our mind to be stress-free? Hasn't nature designed us to be more connected with our inner self? Type yes in the chat if you agree with me that nature has indeed designed this body, this mind, and this soul to be very efficient and trouble-free. Type yes in the chat. And I see a number of yeses coming in, and I'm glad that you all agree with that. And indeed, that is the case. But what is the reality? We face so many illnesses and so many imbalances in our body, in our mind, in our soul, and they manifest themselves in the body as any number of illnesses, whether it is blood pressure or diabetes or heart condition or chronic body pains or improper sleep. All of these problems are there in the body. In the mind, we face stress and anxiety and depression, and we feel so disconnected with ourselves. Now, tell me, if our body and mind and soul are designed to be most efficient and well engineered, and they are supposed to run trouble-free, why is it that many people are facing all of these problems on a day-to-day basis? Why? There can be any number of reasons. Of course, I'm not denying that there can be any number of reasons, but oftentimes it just boils down to a root cause. A root cause is something which, when we fix it, it really fixes many of the problems that are being manifested within us. And if we are able to identify that root cause and work on that root cause, instead of taking a superficial approach, instead of taking a outside in approach, which only may give a temporary result, which may only appears to work, but only for a small amount of time. But if we fix that root cause deep inside, that really creates lasting changes. And oftentimes the root cause is improper breathing and not adopting conscious breathing practices. Improper breathing and not adopting conscious breathing practices. If we learn to master this essential skill, if we learn how to harness the power of breath, see, each and every one of us is breathing every minute of our life. Without breath, there is no life. But is breathing only to keep us alive? No, there is an incredible power, a vital energy to our breath that most of us are not consciously aware of, and therefore we do not harness the power of breath. If only we learn to harness the power of breath, if we only learn the skills of conscious breathing, if we only learn how to replace incorrect breathing patterns with the correct ones, it makes a huge difference. This one thing alone can make a huge difference in our body, in our mind, and in our soul. And the conscious breathing practices. By the way, let us understand what I mean by conscious breathing practices. See, we are breathing every minute of our life, and our breath is automatic. We hardly pay attention to our breath. We hardly think about how our breathing is. It just goes on automatically, just like the other organs of our body, like your liver or kidneys. We don't exert a conscious control. We don't think about that. Similarly, we don't think about our breath. But there is a difference. We don't have a conscious control over our liver or kidneys, but we have a ability to control our breath. Our lungs are a trainable organ, just like the muscles of our hands or our body. Our lungs are a trainable organ. And if we adopt conscious breathing, by conscious breathing, I mean being in full awareness about how we are breathing and learning many different types of breaths. There are so many different types of breath practices. If we learn to master that, this one skill alone makes such a huge difference. It drives away physical illnesses. In fact, you may be surprised to know that many hospitals around the world, they are using conscious breathing practices on their patients to treat their patients, to drive away many physical illnesses. They are using conscious breath practices to deal with emotional imbalances like stress or anxiety, and therefore it is in our hands to master this skill and really gain control over our body, over our mind, and over our soul. So, talking about conscious breathing, talking about replacing incorrect breathing patterns with the healthier ones, let us actually go into the second hands-on practice. I want you to take away this second hands-on practice, in which if you have a shallow breath, you can consciously replace it with a deeper belly breath. And when you do that, that simple practice alone makes a huge difference. So the very first step towards replacing a shallow breath with a deeper belly breath, just the way nature intended us to breathe, just the way infants breathe, just the way babies breathe, we need to adopt that so it becomes a very unconscious practice. So the very first step to do that is to raise our awareness about our current breath. And the way that we raise our awareness is simply by noting down how our current breath pattern is. A few minutes ago, we all noted down, many of you noted that you have a shallow breath. Some of you have noted that you have a deeper belly breath. But make this awareness, let this awareness rise more into our conscious level, so that we become much more aware of our breath pattern. So what I would suggest, what I would recommend is that over the next 60 days, I want you to, at 5 random times during the day, just take a few seconds. It only takes a few seconds, and just catch yourself how you're breathing and note down mentally whether you are having a shallow breath or a deeper belly breath, and note it down over 30 days. Maintain a journal and note down your breath. But don't worry, for many of you, you might be thinking, do I have to really maintain a journal? I have made it easier for you. I have created a editable PDF document which you will receive a copy of. And this editable PDF document, let me share with you how it looks like. Okay, it looks like my Zoom is stuck for a second. It is going to come back. Are you able to see? Are you able to see and hear me? Type in the chat. Yes, great. So Are you able to see this editable PDF document? If you are able to see this editable PDF document, let me talk very briefly. It has entries for 30 days, all the way from day 1 to day 30. And what I would like you to do is on each day, note down the date and note down whether you're having a shallow breath. If you're having a shallow breath, just enter NB into the box here. And if you're having a deeper belly breath, note down BB. It is as simple as that, and you can save this. So let me actually share this PDF document with you. Okay, so I am going to share this PDF document with you in one of two ways. One, I'm directly going to put it in as a file upload in the chat so that you can directly download it. So let me go into the chat and let me upload that file for you in a second. Okay. Oh, sorry, I should have sent it to everyone. Okay, give me a second. I am sending you all a file. The Breath Awareness PDF journal. Tell me, are you able to, do you see this Breath Awareness journal PDF document? If you have received, yes, great. And I am also going to share a link. If in case you are not able to download this, I'm going to share a link with you in the chat that you can. Okay, let me also share a link. Some of you are saying no, some of you are saying yes. Okay, I have shared a link and you can download it from here. So the link is there and I'm going to send the file one more time. Okay, so the link is there. I'm having trouble sending the file, but it is okay. Okay, great. So I have sent both of these and you can download this. But raising your awareness in itself is not enough. We actually need to know how to really do this practice, how to make it an unconscious practice so that it becomes part of our muscle memory. Now, what do I mean by muscle memory? By muscle memory, what I mean is, remember the first time you were trying to learn how to drive a bike or how to drive a car? You were so conscious about your practice. You were focusing on, okay, I need to maintain my balance, or I need to press my accelerator or release the clutch. We were very conscious about all of that, but over time, it got built into our muscle memory. We no longer think about that. We just do it automatically. And the healthier belly breath is just like that. In the beginning, we need to be very conscious about our practice and do the belly breath practice consciously. And as we keep doing that, it becomes an unconscious practice. The muscles in the body, they learn this so that it is unconsciously doing the healthier belly breath practice, even when we are sleeping, even when we are engaged in some work, whatever we are doing, if only we can do that. So if you are ready, let us get into the practice. But tell me, are you ready to learn this healthier belly breath practice? Would you love to learn this belly breath practice? If so, say yes in the chat. I would love to hear from you. Yes, great, great, great. Thank you, thank you. Good. I'm happy that many of you are so enthusiastic about learning this belly breath practice. So let us get right into the breath practice. And actually, it is very simple. Belly breath practice is how the baby breathes. It is expanding your abdomen as you inhale and contracting it as you exhale, but we need to do it consciously. And the way that we will do it consciously is we will begin the practice in just a minute or two, but let us go through the instructions first. So we will place both the hands on the belly. And the reason we place the hands on the belly is so that we can know that the belly is expanding on inhalation and contracting on exhalation. So you should feel the hands go out. When we inhale, you should feel the belly expand as you inhale, and you should be able to feel the belly go inside, contract as you exhale. So we will be focusing only on the belly, making sure that as you're inhaling, expand the belly. As you're exhaling, contract the belly. It is as simple as that. And to maintain our awareness and to maintain our focus on that, we will close our eyes and we will do the practice for the next 3 or 4 minutes. And after that, I will instruct you how to do this for a few days so that it becomes part of your muscle memory. So if you are ready, I want you all to sit comfortably, but sit straight wherever you are sitting. I want you to close your eyes, knowing that what you're going to practice is going to give you a healthier body, mind, and soul. A very simple practice. With your eyes closed, bring both of your hands on your belly and bring your awareness into your belly. So your mind should be in the belly. It should be part in the belly so that you know that you're expanding the belly on inhalation and contracting on exhalation. And we will do an inhalation for 4 seconds, exhalation for 4 seconds for a few rounds. So if you're ready, start with an exhalation. Exhale. Now inhale. Om 1, Om 2, Om 3, Om 4. Exhale. Om 1, Om 2, Om 3, Om 4. Inhale, expand the belly. Om 2, Om 3, Om 4. Exhale, contract the belly. Om 2, Om 3, Om 4. Inhale. Om 1, Om 2, Om 3, Om 4. Exhale. Om 1, Om 2, Om 3, Om 4. Inhale. Om 1, Om 2, Om 3, Om 4. Exhale. Om 1, Om 2, Om 3, Om 4. Inhale. Om 1, Om 2, Om 3, Om 4. Exhale. Om 1, Om 2, Om 3, Om 4. Inhale. Om 1, Om 2, Om 3, Om 4. Exhale. Om 1, Om 2, Om 3, Om 4. Inhale, expand the belly. Om 2, Om 3, Om 4. Exhale, contract the belly. Om 2, Om 3, Om 4. Inhale. Om 1, Om 2, Om 3, Om 4. Exhale. Om 1, Om 2, Om 3, Om 4. Inhale, expand. Om 1, Om 2, Om 3, Om 4. Exhale, contract. Om 1, Om 2, Om 3, Om 4. Inhale. Om 1, Om 2, Om 3, Om 4. Exhale. Om 1, Om 2, Om 3, Om 4. Last round. Inhale, expand. Om 1, Om 2, Om 3, Om 4. Exhale, contract. Om 1, Om 2, Om 3, Om 4. Still keeping your eyes closed. Remove your hands from the belly, but continue breathing in the same way, making sure that your abdomen is expanding on inhalation and contracting on exhalation. Take a couple of breaths. This should be your normal breathing. Now, whenever you're ready, gently open your eyes. So this is the way that we should be breathing even when we are not conscious about our breath. Now, how do we make sure that it actually becomes a conscious breath practice? Practice this at least 5 times every day. Each time it only takes 2 or 3 minutes, but practice it consciously. And when you do that practice, in addition to creating a new habit within you, it also helps you calm down, focus, and become centered. So do it 5 times every single day, conscious breath practice, until it becomes an unconscious breath practice. Now, how would you know when it has become an unconscious breath practice? Remember that PDF document, that editable PDF document. If you are able to consistently record for 10 consecutive days, 5 times a day at random times, catching yourself how you're breathing, if you're able to consistently record your breath as a belly breath, that is when you know that belly breath has become your unconscious breath pattern, and at that time you can stop your conscious belly breath practice. So I really want each one of you to adopt this practice, because this one simple practice alone makes a huge difference in your life, and I wish you good luck in your practice. I also want to let you know that we have gone through 2 breath practices, the extended exhalation practice and the belly breath practice. And these 2 practices alone add a huge value into your life. But these are just the tip of the iceberg. There are many, many other conscious breath practices that work in very specific ways in changing the biochemistry of the bloodstream, in changing the oxygen content of the blood, and in really creating a healthy body. Specific breath practices aimed at having a stress-free life, of really having a deep, peaceful sleep, and feeling very inner connected. So there are many conscious breathing practices, and obviously I cannot go over all of those practices in this 1 hour of webinar, and that's why I am very, very happy to introduce a program before you. It is a 7-day program in which I am going to meet you live every single day in the morning from 6:45 in the morning to 7:45. Now, when you join this 7-day program, what is it that you are going to learn? What is it that you are going to get? So let me share the screen for a second. Here is what you are going to learn. Sorry. Okay, so the program is called Yogic Breath for Healthy Body, Mind, and Soul. And the reason I call it yogic breath is because these are the age-old traditions from the ancient yogis, from thousands of years of wisdom. So it is the program is yogic breath for healthy body, mind, and soul. And what is included in the program, it is a 7-day program. As I mentioned, it is a live meeting in which we are meeting face to face. Right now, I cannot see you, but during the 7-day program, I will be able to see each and every one of you. So we meet for 1 hour every day from 6:45 to 7:45. And the next batch is starting on the 18th of October, which is a Monday. It runs from Monday to Sunday, 1 hour each day. And there will be a preparatory live session, an onboarding session on Saturday, 16th of October at 8 p.m., in which I will share the do's and the don'ts, how to prepare yourself so that you are much better prepared to derive the maximum benefit from this program. And you will also be part of a WhatsApp group that is very specific to the batch that is going to be that is starting on the 18th of October, in which offline you can ask me questions and I will be available to answer any questions that you may have. So this is what you get when you join the 7-day program. And what does it take to enter into the 7-day program? It is very simple and straightforward. Your investment for entering into this 7-day program is 495 rupees only. And I am making it accessible to a wide number of people so that they can actually gain a greater benefit out of this program. And I call this an investment, not an expense, because you are really investing the money in learning some inner transformational skills. And we will go over what exactly you're going to learn during the 7 days, but it is a 495 rupee investment on your part to get access to all the benefits. So let me share the link to the 7-day program. Let me share the link in the chat. Okay, so I am sharing the link into the chat window. There, here is the link. So it takes you to InstaMojo, where you can make the payment. And I am going to keep the offer open for the next 20 minutes starting now. This is the chance for you to join the program. Now, I want to go over what is it exactly that you're going to learn in this 7 days. It is a very structured program. It comes from 3 decades of my personal experience on the spiritual path, and I have distilled down all of these learnings into a format suitable for everyone in this modern world. See, I have been in both worlds. I have been in the corporate world and I have been a full-time student of spirituality. So I am sharing all of my experience with you. So what is it that you will get? What is it that you will learn and practice? We are going to learn the essential conscious breath practices, or pranayama practices that lead to a healthy body and mind. And I will place so much of emphasis on the foundational and incremental building blocks that leads to a effective practice of the pranayama, because many times I find people just go to YouTube, they learn a particular practice and they start going into the practice without really building the foundations deep. I'm sure you will all agree that you wouldn't start building a superstructure just from the ground. You would spend a considerable amount of time in digging the foundations deep, so that when the foundations are deep, the practices will automatically flow in. So I will give all the foundational and incremental building blocks in the practice, and we will be spending predominantly a lot of time on the practice, purely focused on practice, with a little bit of theory that is necessary for you to gain a deeper understanding. So during each of the 7 days, we will be doing that. Now, what is it that you are actually, in addition to conscious breathing, you are also going to learn many other things. By the way, let me remind you that we are just about 20 minutes away from closing this webinar and this offer. So the link is in the chat window. But as you are preparing yourself or making up your mind, let us look at what is it that you are going to learn in addition to conscious breath practices. Of course, conscious breath practices are going to be the center piece of our time together. But in addition to that, every day we will spend several minutes in a deep and effective meditation practice where I will take you through a incremental meditation practice where we focus our mind on our thoughts, our breath, and eventually bring the mind to a single pointed focus. So we will go through that incremental meditation practice so that at the end of the 7 days, you will have a very effective meditation practice that really helps us in so many ways. In addition to conscious breathing and meditation, we will also go through conscious relaxation practices. Now, at this point, you may be asking, what do you mean by conscious relaxation? I am already getting 6 hours or 8 hours of sleep every night. Is that not a relaxation for my body and mind? I'll say no, not really, because many times, many people wake up after a full night's sleep, still feeling stressed, still feeling lethargic. And that is because the mind and the body are not getting the proper sleep. And I will go through some conscious relaxation practices and breath practices that help eliminate stress and help you get a much deeper sleep. And if even a few minutes of this conscious relaxation practices is equivalent to a few hours of sleep, actually. So that in addition to that, we will also go through a practicing mindfulness. Now, what do I mean by mindfulness? By mindfulness, I mean being fully present in the moment with complete awareness, irrespective of what we are doing. When we are able to practice mindfulness, we can be in a meditative state all the time, irrespective of what activity that we are doing. It is also possible to be in a meditative state even when we are doing mundane tasks like cooking or cleaning or even doing our work. We can be in full awareness with full focus. So that is what you're going to learn. So conscious breath practices combined with meditation, combined with conscious relaxation, combined with mindfulness are the inner transformational tools that will really take your life to the next level, because these practices are going to create that internal transformation. See, all of these practices work at a deep cellular level, and I will talk about it in just a minute. But let me just summarize what you get. You are getting 7 days of live training. You are getting a live onboarding session on Saturday. You're getting access to a WhatsApp group, and you learn conscious breath practices and meditation and conscious relaxation and mindfulness, and all of this for an investment of 495 rupees. So let me paste the link in the chat window, and I will be happy to answer any questions. So let me stop the share here, and in the chat window, let me paste the link. So here is the link in the chat window. So here is the link in the chat window, InstaMojo link, and we are going to keep this offer open for the next 15 minutes only. And I will, if you have any questions, send them in the chat or send them in Q&A, and I'll be happy to answer any questions that you may have. So. Okay, so, okay, great. All right, very good. So let me just mention someone was okay. The timing is 6:45 to 7:45 in the morning. 6:45 to 7:45 in the morning, starting on Monday, 18th of October. So those are the timings. Let me go through each group. Okay, Sashi Kumar, glad that you have joined the program, and you are going to get an auto reply from InstaMojo, in which you will get the link to join the WhatsApp group, and you will get the Zoom information, all of the details. And I'm also going to send a individual email to each and every person who has joined the group. So we will be in touch, no worries. Now, Prasad is asking that he has a stammering problem. Is it possible to decrease by doing these exercises? And that you have a visa interview next month to crack. So first off, Prasad, I can say that these inner transformational tools, they actually work at a deep cellular level. So many corrections can come into place. And when I say deep cellular level, doing this deep breathing exercises and meditation and all of that, it is going to affect each and every cell. It is going to affect each and every organ of our body, so that they start functioning in the optimal way, in just the way that nature has designed us. And it also not only works in the physical body, changing the cellular structure of every cell in the body, but it works in every corner of the mind, rewiring the mind, rewiring the neural networks in the brain, so that we are able to operate much more efficiently and to be able to deal with stress or anxiety, or to drive away depression or any of the emotional imbalances, whether it is of guilt or anger or what have you. It works at a very, very deep level. But that said, I also want to say that would that be possible to eliminate the stammering problem in just 1 week, given that you have an interview in the next 1 week? I think you have to take a more longer term approach, start on these practices, and I'm pretty sure it will help in the medium term, as your confidence starts building up. Because stammering comes from sometimes it may be a physical manifestation, but more often than not, it may be an emotional manifestation, in that of insecurity and underconfidence. And definitely these practices are going to help in correcting any kind of imbalances. So that would be my answer. And very soon, I am also going to share, let me actually share for those of you who want to pay by using Paytm or Google Pay, let me actually share a QR code. I'm going to share the QR code, and I'm going to let it remain on the screen for just a few minutes. So let me, okay. I'm going to answer each of the other questions that you have, but right now I am going to share the QR code, and those of you who are listening to this or watching this on a live stream on YouTube or LinkedIn or Facebook, here is the QR code. Let me share that. Let me share the screen. Okay, so here is the QR code. So this is the only time I am going to share this QR code. So those of you who want to make a payment using those of you who want to make a payment using Google Pay or Paytm or what have you, kindly scan this code right now. And when you make the payment using this QR code, you are going to get the replies back and the acknowledgement back tomorrow. So you are definitely going to get that. So here is the QR code. I'm going to let this remain on the screen for a couple of more minutes while I look at the questions that you may have. So let me go back into the chat and look at the questions that people are having. Um, so Ashok, if you have some clash with this particular schedule, I would still, if you are interested in doing this, I would still recommend that you join, because I'm going to give you access to the recordings. So you might want to stagger your practices by a day. So you're doing the first day practice the next day. So pick a time that is convenient to you and do the practice using the video recording that is going to be as effective as being in a live session. So you're going to get all of the benefits, and you will still be part of the WhatsApp group and get access to all of the recordings. So with that, let me stop the share. If any one of you still want to scan this for easier payment, go ahead. And let me just mention again that if you are paying by Google Pay or Paytm, you will get an acknowledgement tomorrow. So with that, let me stop the sharing of the screen while I address some of the other questions that you're having at this minute. One of the questions that was asked in the chat was whether these practices help you increase your focus. And my answer to you is absolutely yes. And the reason it helps you increase your focus is because when you're doing these conscious breath practices, you're sending a message to your nervous system, you're sending a message to your body, you're sending a message to the brain to get more relaxed. And like I said, our breath has such a direct impact on our mind. And you may have actually noticed this when we did the extended exhalation practice, or even the conscious belly breath practice, that even with a 3 minutes of practice, that your mind becomes more focused. But during the 7 days, we are going to go into deeper learnings, so that you have many tools at your disposal, whether it is meditation or whether it is some fundamental pranayama practices. So that will really help you in increasing the focus. So that would be the answer to your question. Okay, so go for Bhaskar, the question to answer that. You would go into the 7 days module, because at the moment we are rethinking about the 30-day program. So at the moment there is a 30-day program going on at the moment, but please join the 7-day program. That is the program that is open. So but Ashok is saying that, okay, if you need live sessions, Ashok, then probably joining the next session would be a better option. And please be sure to join my mailing list, or just be tuned to the WhatsApp groups that you are in, so that you get notified about this. Great, Nikhil just joined. Wonderful. I'm happy to see. The alternative date, Ashok, we do not know as yet. We will let you know. But yeah, we will definitely have another batch. So let me go into the Q&A and Okay. So Arun has been asking how many times to practice extended exhalation exercise in a day. I will be happy to answer you, Arun, but in the meantime, let me actually send a quick link in the chat to everyone, the InstaMojo link. Here is the InstaMojo link that you can go to in order to join this course. So to answer your question, Arun, how many times to practice? My answer would be as many times as you feel stressed out. See what happens. Let us really look at what happens if we are facing stress or anxiety or depression or anger. Oftentimes we are not aware and we just react impulsively without thinking. We just get carried away. Now, if only we can just take a couple of minutes apart, the moment we recognize, hey, I am going through this particular situation. Yes, of course, we will be going through many emotions. I'm not even trying to suggest that we should not face the emotions. Of course, we will be going through a roller coaster of emotions, but if only we can stand apart and do this extended exhalation practice, what it will do is, when at times when we are stressful, our breath becomes shallow, it becomes irregular, our mind becomes diffused. It cannot really focus. We just get caught up in that situation. When we do this 2 or 3 minutes of breath practice, the mind will get focused. When the mind becomes focused, we become focused, and we are able to deal with the external things that are happening, which is causing stress. And oftentimes stress is really not caused by external things, but because of our reaction to those external things. And we are now going to gain control. Previously, the mind impulsively has been in control of our thoughts, of our reactions, of our words that come out, everything. The mind has been in control. But when we shift our paradigm, when we are able to step away from that and adopt these simple inner transformational practices, we are now in control of the mind. We are in control of our thoughts. We are in control of our emotions. So the short answer to your question about how often to do the extended exhalation practice is whenever you're feeling stressed, whenever you want to refocus on yourself, that's when I would suggest that you do the extended exhalation practice. And as far as the belly breath practice, make sure that you practice it as long as it takes for your normal unconscious breath to become the belly breath. And I have already mentioned how you will know that breath awareness journal is a huge help in that. So with that, let me answer. Okay, Tapan is saying you are not getting the link. Let me share the link one more time, Tapan. Here is the link, and let me know if you have seen the link. Okay, no, let me share to everyone the link. Okay, so here is the link, and great. And those of you who have joined the program, you are going to get an auto reply from InstaMojo with the link to join my WhatsApp group. And I'm also going to send you the link, an individual email. No worries, we will be in touch. And for those of you who are paying through the QR code that was shared, you will definitely get the acknowledgement tomorrow, and all of the information tomorrow you will get for sure. Okay, so let me just answer from when the sessions are going to start. The sessions are going to start on the 18th, Monday, 6:45 to 7:45, and the onboarding, live onboarding program is going to be on 16th of October, which is a Saturday. That is going to be at 8 p.m. And Nikhil is asking an interesting question that you have the skill set, but there is a procrastination to launch the things. And you know what, Nikhil? I have been in the same situation. By the way, I am going to end this webinar in the next 5 minutes only, because we have to respect time. So we are going to end the webinar in the next 5 minutes. But the brief answer to your question, Nikhil, is even I have been guilty about procrastination many times, and for due to that we lose many opportunities. And sometimes we just need to procrastinate the procrastination. We are already good at procrastinating something. So how about no, I'm just talking tongue in cheek, but sometimes we tend to overanalyze things. We tend to think too much about it. Sometimes it just helps to just do something, commit to this. For example, this is a wonderful opportunity for you to commit to just 7 days and see how much difference it makes. So really just dive into it head on. And the benefits, many things that we do to address this challenges that we face on an everyday basis, whether it is in the body, in the mind, or in the soul. We try to take up so many practices, whether it is attending some motivational seminars, or trying to do affirmations, or trying to employ the law of attraction, or trying to do discipline. And you know what? All of these are helpful. No denial about that, but they are all really attacking the problem from outside in, whereas the change needs to happen from inside out. And that is why I call these internal transformational skills, deep transformational skills, where you are really you're really rewiring your body, you're really rewiring your mind, and you will feel a much deeper connection with your own inner self. You will improve your health in the body. You will really be able to deal with any kind of situations, whether it is stress or depression or anger or all of this emotional baggage. See, all of us carry so much of emotional baggage within us, and it is like tying a 5-pound weight to the leg of Neeraj Chopra, who won a javelin. I know he's trying to throw a javelin, and if you tie a 5-pound weight to his leg, of course he cannot perform at his optimal level. We are all designed to, we have so much of potential, but we are carrying so much of baggage within us, and that is dragging us down. And these inner transformational skills and practices that we are going to cover over the 7 days, these are going to help us unshackle the weight that we are carrying, have a healthier body, mind, and soul. So we have just 2 more minutes, everyone. Okay, Tapan, if your payment is successful, but if you haven't received any confirmation, we will, I'm pretty sure, do check your updates or promotions folders, and I'm sure it will be there, because it is an auto reply from Instamojo. But no worries, even in any case, I'll be making sure to send an individual email to everyone who has joined. Yes, Bhaskar, I am glad that you liked the procrastination. And Pratap is asking, can we go over the course details? Yes, very briefly. We have just a minute or two. So very briefly, the course, it is a 7-day course, 1 hour of live training with me, 6:45 to 7:45 in the morning, starting on Monday, 18th of October. You will be part of a Facebook group that is specific to the batch, where I will be happy to answer any questions that you may have. And there will be a live onboarding session on Saturday, 16th of October, so that will help you prepare how to derive the maximum benefit from the 7-day program. And you are going to learn conscious breath practices and meditation practices and the conscious relaxation and mindfulness practices. So a very, very holistic approach. So with that said, yes, Bhaskar, and I will be honored if you join the program as well. So for one last time, let me paste the link before I end the meeting with everyone. Okay, here is the link. Great. I'm glad you joined, Bhaskar. Appreciate that. And let me just say in closing that if you are hesitating to join this program, I want to speak to you. What might be the reason why you're hesitating? Probably it might be because of a clash in your schedule. You might be interested in joining, but you're not able to join because of a clash. Or if you genuinely feel that the 495 rupees is too high a price to pay, that you cannot afford it, I totally understand. But if you are able to afford that, but still not joining, then I want you to know that this is a practice that can really make a huge difference. Try it. I'm speaking from so many decades of experience. I have been in the normal corporate world. I have been in the spiritual world, and these are all the distilled practices. And the best part is you get to practice with me. And if you still haven't joined, I want to know, and this is actually going to help me do better. I really want your feedback. I hope whatever practices that I have shared with you, whatever everything that I have shared with you is helpful. And now I ask you to help me in turn. That is, if you have not joined the program, I want to know the reason why, so that I know how to tune it. So let me launch a poll, and I would so much appreciate, and this poll is for people who have not joined the program. I'm launching the poll. So here is the poll, and I would really appreciate your feedback. So check on whatever applies to you. All the things that apply to you, and give me the feedback, would you? And while we are going to end this session in just 2 or 3 minutes, and I am going to end this poll. Okay, I understand. I am receiving your answers. I understand. And if anyone else wants to share their feedback about why they are not going to join, some people are saying that the investment amount is right, but you cannot afford it. I totally understand and appreciate that. And I respect that, and I really wish well for you, that your situation may improve. So thank you all for sharing, and I am going to end the poll right now. And let me say this to everyone who is still in the webinar. From my heart, thank you for spending the time here with me for the last hour and a half. It has been a real pleasure connecting with you. I hope each and every one of you, irrespective of whether you have joined the program or not joined the program, that you employ these 2 breath practices that will immensely help improve your life, take the quality of your life to the next level. And for those of you who have joined, I am looking forward to seeing you in the webinar, in the 7-day program. But Pratap is asking, when will the program happen? During November first week? Very possibly during November first week. Make sure that you join our mailing list. You can go to venkat-rao.com. If you are not already on my mailing list, please join the mailing list or look out on these WhatsApp groups for that. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I have to respect time. I wish you all a wonderful evening and have a great life. Thank you all for joining. Namaste.